my name is James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about, is now a good time to buy a house? It's an opinion that divides you viewers on here a lot. We see comments from people saying you'd be crazy to buy a property now. I also see other investors, first-time buyers, and people that want to go up or down the ladder saying it's actually a great opportunity and you can get some very, very good deals right now. So what's the answer? Is it good or bad? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover all of that and more. If you're new around here, I'm James Nicholson, and this YouTube channel is all about property investing, house prices, interest rates, and everything you need to know about the property market. Subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification so you get all the latest notifications. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really, really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, what a crazy time we live in. We had a pandemic 5 years ago now, but it seems like it was only recent. And logically, in that time, you would have looked at that and said, with businesses shut, with people getting paid less, and with all the uncertainty, that house prices should have gone down. They did for a very, very short period of time, and then they absolutely surged. House prices have been on a real tear. That started to slow down now, and right now you are at a new peak in the market. So we are at the highest house prices has ever been, and different places see different numbers. We get the Halifax data, we get the Nationwide Building Society data, and we get the Office of National Statistics, but they're there or thereabouts around £280,000 as the average house price in the UK. So it's not great to normally buy at a peak. After the peak of a stock market normally comes a crash, and that happened in houses in 2008. House prices were absolutely on a tear, and eventually that market cooled and, as you recall, crashed. So could that happen again? Well, yes, absolutely it could happen again. Halifax released data this month that said house prices are down 0.1% in just 1 month. That's a lot. And so that's the start, but it's not as bad as you might think. The problem you've got, though, is that the stamp duty is increasing in April, and that is going to slow down the market. And so the Halifax data could be the start of a downward trend. Time will tell. So here's what you've got to consider at the moment. Interest rates. Interest rates are a key consideration. Now, you might be buying cash, but most people are buying property with a mortgage. Interest rates peaked at around 6%, not as in the Bank of England rate. I'm talking about mortgage rates. There were rates around 6%, some as high as 6.5% when Liz Truss was in charge a couple of years ago. Now they are on a downward trend. You can get mortgages. We've had some already in 2025 that are below 4%. Now, we're at a bit of a stubborn patch right now. There's a bit of uncertainty. Brokers feel that the Bank of England might increase interest rates again. But then you've also got economists saying the economy is going to go in a downward trend. That would decrease interest rates. But even if you bought a property at 4%, that could still be a good deal. What you've got to look at is, can you afford that? Can you afford that monthly price? And is that better than you either paying rent, or if you're running it as a buy-to-let, is it going to make profit? The lender in the buy-to-let scenario won't lend to you unless it's going to make profit anyway. So interest rates aren't the worst they've been, and they are moving in the right direction. What else have you got? Well, there are some deals around at the moment. So while the market is at the peak, that's undeniable, the market has slowed down. There's a flurry of deals going through at the moment. The market, the estate agents, the solicitors, the brokers, they're all very busy at the moment trying to get deals over the line before the March 31st deadline for the stamp duty hike. And so that's happening at the moment. But we already know that viewings on new properties has slowed down significantly. So that shows us that anyone that's listed a property recently isn't getting viewings so much now because they can't complete the sale prior to that stamp duty increase. And so there are certain people that need to sell or want to sell or are motivated to sell. And you're starting to see deals out there at the moment. And so you can get some very good deals. Even last year, prior to the market slowing down in 2024, I bought a studio flat for £120,000. I spent about £6,000 doing it up, and it was revalued at £180,000. That £120,000 valuation when I purchased was the same price that they paid for the property in 2013. So there are people that want to sell. So always be looking for deals. And in any market, up, down or sideways, there is someone that's struggling to sell their property, and that could be the deal that works for you. What else have we got to look at here? Don't buy new build properties. That's my advice. I just feel they're not good value for money. A new build property is like a new car. You buy a new car, you drive it off the forecourt, instantly it's worth 20%, 25% less. It depreciates massively fast. That happens with new build properties as well. I've spoken to investors and homeowners that bought new build properties recently, and they're just not worth what they were. They weren't worth what they paid for it. You lose about 10% with a new build property. You can't add any value to a new build property because it's had everything done. It's got the shiny kitchen, it's got the shiny bathroom. It's only going to get worse. When you get those keys, that's the best that property is ever going to be. And that is something to consider. It's likely that that value will drop as you purchase that property. So I wouldn't buy any new build properties. What would I do? I would buy a property that you can add value. And that rings true if you are an investor with a buy-to-let property, or you're someone that's buying a property to live in. Buy a property that you can add value to. What does that mean? Such a broad term. Well, I'm talking about, can you add a bedroom to that property? Could you take a 2-bedroom property to a 3-bedroom property? Could you take a studio flat to a 1-bedroom flat, or a 1-bedroom flat to a 2-bedroom flat? These are all deals that I've done and documented on this channel that you can check out. And that adds value. Bedrooms are an easy win to increase value significantly. I did that with a 1-bedroom flat in Dorking in Surrey. It was valued as a 1-bedroom flat at 200,000. I spent 10 grand or so increasing that value by adding a bedroom, and it was revalued at 250. It makes a big difference. How else can you add value? Buy a property that needs a new kitchen, but don't spend 20 grand on a kitchen. Get an affordable kitchen that looks nice, but isn't going to break the bank. I've got properties where I've added kitchens for 1,500 quid. If I was going to live in it, I might spend £3,000 or £4,000 on that kitchen to make that property and value increase. Could you get new carpets or decorate the property or add a new bathroom to the property? These things add value, and they build equity into that property for you that protects you in a down market still. So those are the things that you could do. So would I buy property in this market? Yes. I wouldn't buy a new build property. I'd buy a property that I can add value to. Am I worried about interest rates? No, because I know what the rate is going into that deal prior. And if I'm really worried about that rate going up or down, I could fix it for 5 years, giving me certainty on what my payments will be. Am I worried about it being the peak of the market? No, I'm not worried about it being the peak in the market, because the properties that generally are at the peak are the new build properties that don't need any value added to them. I'm looking for ugly properties that I can add value and make pretty. That's how you're going to make money in any type of market. If you want an ebook on how you can make money in a down market, click in the description and download our new ebook on how to make money with property in a down market. You'll find it very insightful and it will give you some great ideas. So do check that out while you're here. Do smash like and subscribe and check out all the other videos on my channel, including this video right here.